What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Movie Chat. I am your host, Trinity. Thank you all so much for being here today. I hope you're all having a very good day today. Oh, man, here we are. Monday. We're already in February. Can you believe that we're already in February, guys? Man, I'm telling you, this year's already flying by. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Maybe it's just because I have kids. The kids don't help any. The kids don't help any because they make you feel old just by being awesome and being themselves. And yeah, I don't know. Kids are really awesome. I'll tell you. I'll tell you that. at least mine are anyway. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about yours, but mine are pretty awesome. But anyway, guys, we got several things to talk about today. Is yesterday apparently was the big game. I don't really watch foosball much anymore. So yeah, there's that. But apparently there was a game and a team won. I don't know what team it was. I didn't really I wasn't really paying attention. I seriously I do not know who won yesterday's game. I honestly don't even know who was playing in yesterday's game. That's how much I've tuned out football out of my life. And I'm telling you, I used to be like hardcore Bears fan, like all the way. You know what I mean? So, what it was just a few years ago. It was probably 2 maybe 3 years before Colin Kaepernick started making everybody mad. It was probably like 2 or maybe 3 years before that I stopped watching football. It's just yeah. Oh yeah, I probably did. I'm sure I did say foosball. But yeah, so that's when I stopped watching. I was a bit, I was a Bears fan. So even if I was gonna start watching again, I'd probably still be a Bears fan. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. But we got a lot of great TV spots on there. We got a lot of great TV spots that came during the big game, and so we're gonna talk a little bit about those today. We're going to talk just a little bit about those. But, Lord Callis, thank you so much for being here. Kansas City won. Who were they playing? Oh, they were playing the 49ers. I know that because Kermit the Log was all happy. All right. All right. Yeah. So, Nerd a lot, thank you so much for being here, Maverick Pilgrim. I am True Skills. Thank you so much as well. I am True Skills says, Trinity, I gave you credit in my video. Nice. I'll have to go out. I'll have to go back and watch that. Just kind of really busy day yesterday. Just getting caught up with a lot of things. And that's the one thing I wanted to get right here off the top, guys, is um, Maverick Pilgrim says, but did anyone catch the England-France Six Nations rugby test yesterday? Now that was a game. No, I did not. But yesterday we did a music stream. We did a music stream talking, it was about an hour, talking about music. So the thing is that all came about. It was kind of a last minute thing. Because I brought my friend Rich on, who you guys, if you're ever here in the chat, you'll see him under his handle Q Ball. So we did an hour long chat talking about music, and that all came about because I believe was it on Thursday? It may have been on Thursday or Friday when we were all here on the morning movie chat talking about movies, and then somehow we got onto the subject of music because we started talking about soundtracks for like just different movies and stuff, and it was a great conversation. I was like, you know what, I need to talk about music on the channel more anyway. I mean, I've had it on the channel thing on the banner and stuff for a long time. It says comics, movies, and music, right? And the music part was the last part I was missing. So I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and I've done a few album reviews here on the channel, but I was like, let's go ahead and let's get something started. So I called my friend Rich up and told him, I was like, hey man, get here over the house and let's have a conversation about some music and talk for about an hour. And so I went and put a Twitter poll up. It's going to be up all week long to get into next week's show. And the Twitter poll, you can go check it out. You can find. Oh, and I guess before I take it all off the screen, thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. All these people help support the channel with their hard-earned dollars, and all these live streams are basically brought to you courtesy of all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much to all of them. So. Oh, dang it. I always do that. That always happens, man. There we go. So yeah, I put up a Twitter poll asking, what is your favorite decade of music? And you can fill something else out if it's something else. Because I put 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. If it's the 2010s, put the 2010s. If there's something that came out this recently in the year that it's already 2020s, go ahead and put that as well. Maybe you like the 2020s so far. Who knows? But that's the Twitter question. That's what we're going to be talking a little bit more about next week on the music channels. What is the best decade of music, and what is your favorite? And also the other thing I asked in that poll as well, though I mean it's not part of the poll, but is what decade were you born? Because I think what decade you were born somewhat has somewhat of a probably somewhat of a correlation to what decade of music you might like the most. But hey, I could be wrong. I think I know what mine is, but it's really hard to say. You know what I mean? It's really hard to say. Aggressively relaxing. Thank you so much for being here. Says, dude, did you see this Mulan trailer? The main character is a crossdresser. Jesus Christ, Hollywood, quit shoving your agenda down our throats. I know, dude. That's ridiculous. I didn't see the trailer, but I seen the cartoon and I thought the same exact thing. That's all that's going on here. They're normalizing it, just trying to make it okay. Oh, aggressively relaxing. You're funny. Fan Jexter, thank you so much for being here. Maverick Pilgrim says, I saw there was a music stream, but I was scared there was karaoke, so I stayed away. No, I only karaoke like at karaoke, but most of all, not even really that. I would like to find a good karaoke bar to go to, but by a good karaoke bar, you know what I want it to be? It's a place that does like specializes more in like metal music, you know what I mean? But then again, I just get the band back together and we can start making some music as well. I mean, we're all halfway across the country from each other, but that these days that's by no means any excuse. As you guys seen, I went on vacation and was still able to bring you guys my morning movie chats while I was on vacation. There's no excuse these days. There's no excuse. So if you got something you want to do these days, there's really no excuse for not being able to do it. Lord Callis says 90s. All right, and I think I'm probably there with the 90s as well. But then I started thinking about the question more, what is the best? I mean, your favorite decade of music? Yeah, probably 90s. I think mine probably is as well. I think mine probably is. I don't know, because I really do like the 80s as well. But then it made me start to wonder, maybe we'll eventually get to that, is what is the best decade in music history? Because I think when it comes down to the best decade in history music, it could be something like the 70s, because a lot of things happened in the 70s with music and things like that. So I mean, just a lot of, not innovation, but a lot of different genres of music seem to come out around that time, were somewhat evolved and came to the mainstream. So I think there's a little bit to be said about the 70s. Now, it's not my favorite. I think my favorite is probably just like yours, being the 90s as well. Will Gentry says, good morning, lads and ladettes. How you doing, Will? Thank you so much for being here. Aggressively Relaxing says, I was a singing bartender at a karaoke bar. I would sing anything for a tip. Try singing Bop when you have so much respect for Hanson. I totally get you. I get you. If you can't hit some of those notes, you can't carry some of those pitches and things. Hey man, I get you. I get you. Maverick Pilgrim says, everyone is filing in now. Good morning. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you smash the like button and all of that good stuff as well. That's what I'm told to tell you. So make sure you do it. It'd be a good thing. It would definitely be a good thing. Two Gun Pedro says, pew pew. All right, what's up, man? How you doing, Two Gun Pedro? Captain Pennsylvania, thank you so much for being here. Chillmonger, my brother, what is up? He says, ha ha ha, Mulan is the worst. I know. I know. Isn't aggressively relaxing is like one of those people who can say stuff like that and get away with it? Because we all know, like, aggressively relaxing is just hilarious, man. Just hilarious. Trinity plays a mean triangle. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know. I play a mean microphone too, if that counts. Kobe, thank you so much for being here. Sorry for that WandaVision video I had. I had a drink and I sounded like a dumbass. Which WandaVision video? I'll have to check that out. What's your beef with Mulan? I mean, effing hate the aristocrats, so no judgment, just interested. Oh man. Best decade of music is the 70s, the 1870s. Tchaikovsky, Verdi, Brahms. Come on. Oh, that's funny. All right, guys. Great stuff, man. Anyway, moving on into the rest of the show. Like I said, we had the hour of music just yesterday on Sunday. We'll probably do that again next Sunday, maybe around the same time. I wanted to do it around noon, but just, I got getting out for my ride and getting home and eating breakfast and all that kinds of stuff. It took a little bit more time. Plus, Rich got here a little bit late, so hey. It ended up being about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We're going to try to shoot for 1 o'clock next time, or maybe noon. Maybe actually noon. Just a little bit earlier to do that. So that's going to be the topic of next week. What's your favorite decade of music, and what decade were you born in? Like I was born in the 70s. I think my favorite decade of music is probably the 90s for sure. Just like probably like a lot of you guys, if you hear, maybe you're around my age. So who knows? Who knows? Ords Boards, thank you so much for being here. So yeah, we got these trailers yesterday that came out during the Super Bowl, and there was obviously all the ones for the Disney Plus series getting ready to come out, which was actually a pretty cool trailer. And did you guys see this? Did you watch this trailer? Let me know what you thought about that down in the comments below. Let me know, what did you think about the Disney Plus shows that are coming out. And in that, they had Falcon and Winter Soldier, they had WandaVision, and they had Loki. Now I've got some screenshots and everything that I've got. I didn't take the time to put them up here getting ready for the show. I was just out in the garage getting warmed up, getting ready to work out here after the show. Gonna go for a nice little ride, a nice little workout. So anyway, guys, I didn't get a chance to do all that. We'll do a little bit more of that tomorrow. I mean, it's Monday, first day after the weekend. A whole lot of things have happened. So but we get this. What did you guys think about the trailer? I thought it was pretty good. Now the thing is obviously there's different levels of expectation out there, and that people have for these shows and things like that. And sometimes I think we set ourselves up as fans, sort of in a way for failure when it comes to some of these things, because maybe we expect too much of a TV show or too much of of a movie or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to do that, but I gotta tell you guys, I'm pretty hyped for these shows. I can't wait to watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. WandaVision looks great, and come on, guys, Loki. How could you not like these things? Now, of course, there's all kinds of, just different things that have come out there in the news and the media about all these shows coming out. Like with the Loki series, everybody's talking about there's going to be a female Loki, there's going to be a kid Loki, and oh my God, they're making it, okay, well, I mean, for one, and this is really about it. I mean, here's the ultimate excuse, right? Is it happened in the comics. Right? A lot of things happened in the comics. Does that mean they should all come to the screen? Probably not. Probably not. So that's one of the things. But this Loki show to me is very interesting. There's a lot of theories that I've had with things in the past, and things like I've just kind of been thinking on in my head. I really need to write more of these thoughts down regarding this Loki series and what's going on with it. Maybe how it ties into the WandaVision series. Maybe how it ties into Doctor Strange. Maybe how it ties into Thor, Love and Thunder, and all of these different things that are going on out there with this Loki series. Because, for a while I've been kind of thinking that I think soon we're going to be getting Enchantress coming into the MCU. I think this could easily come by way of the WandaVision show. Maybe she comes in there, and then maybe she shows up in the Loki series. And, people are talking about female Loki. I mean, who knows? Maybe people are talking about female Loki because they don't know that maybe they're talking about Enchantress. I don't know. She's Asgardian. Maybe people just, maybe somewhere along the lines of communication, all that stuff got kind of caught up and mixed up. But who knows? Maybe this female Loki we're talking about could actually be Enchantress, not a female Loki. I don't know. I could be wrong there, because I think that it's possible. It looks like the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, it looks like it's probably definitely leading to the Thunderbolts. Possibly the, what was the other one? The Dark Avengers? Is it Dark Avengers? Yeah, the Dark Avengers. And so it could be setting all that up it could all be setting that up as well, but it could also be setting up the Masters of Evil. So I mean, there's all kinds of things that really are kind of implicated by all these. And the thing is we get this ad, and obviously these are the first of the series getting ready to come out. But could it also mean that maybe all of these shows kind of intersect at some point? I mean, think about it. You got Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got WandaVision, and you got Loki. and they're all, they're all in this advertisement. Of course, these are the ones that we knew were coming, and that we don't have Hawkeye in here, but I think Hawkeye was on the release schedule was a little more down the line anyway. And plus, from all the news we've heard, it's kind of been put on hold for right now. So yeah, there's that. And there we go. Let's get the camera up a little bit better there. There. Is that a little bit better? There we go. So I don't know. Altogether, guys, I'm pretty hyped for these shows. Now the thing is even I was even watching Young Rippa 59. I was watching his live stream yesterday evening after the game, and of course I know he's one of these people out there that he's definitely not psyched about the Falcon and Winter Soldier series because about Falcon becoming Captain America and all that stuff. And hey, believe me, I totally get that because like even in the comic books, I didn't really like it. It was like, ugh, like I don't know. To me, like the whole storyline, a lot of the stuff I seen in there, it was literally just like CNN and Fox News and all that stuff, just literally drawn straight. Like they took the like the artist took and laid a paper over his screen and traced around everything on there, and then they just made a copy of it. They put a couple little poses of Falcon on there and as Captain America and put that on there, and that's really all it was. And I don't know, it wasn't a terrible series, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great by any means. But believe me when I say I read it all the Sam Wilson Captain America, I read it all. I read all those books. The thing that I like about it is, for me, what I've been predicting here on the channel, what it could lead to, is what I like. That's what I like. That's what I'm hyped up about. But also this show in general, it's called Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? So I don't believe during any time during this whole show we're actually going to see Falcon as Captain America. I think what this whole show is going to be is it's going to be his struggle with having the shield and living up to the legacy of Steve Rogers, and basically a lot of the stuff that happened in the comic book, it's going to revolve around that. But I don't think it's going to be so much about the prejudice and the racism side of it, where people are looking to him as, they don't want like a black Captain America or anything like that. And, but I still think we might get the hashtag not my captain, not my Captain America thing that was in the comics. I think all that's still coming. But I think this whole show is going to be kind of his struggle with taking on that mantle, being passed the shield from Steve Rogers to him. And obviously, we see that we got John Walker coming in as U.S. Agent. We get those shots of U.S. Agent running out onto the football field. These are something I was talking about in a live stream just the other week, referring back to a kind of culty video that I was watching not too long ago, talking about they had these shots where they were there on a football field, where it looked like they were at a football field, and it was obviously being shot for setting up U.S. Agent. But the thing is, they showed somebody there, like, with the mohawk and everything. I think they were thinking was it, I want to say it was Mockingbird. I could be wrong. With a little pink mohawk and everything. It was I don't know. Who knows what could be coming. But anyway, we can obviously see that some of those set photo leaks are actually going to be here in the show. Obviously, I mean, they were set photo leaks, so interesting stuff though. Interesting stuff. Introducing John Walker, and I think somebody was one of the things like Young Rippa was talking about on his thing was like, where did John Walker get the shield, for one, because we've seen it running out on the field. He had the shield. I mean, did Sam Wilson give it up? Or where did this other shield come from? Could it actually have came from, because the one thing I was talking about during the Den of Nerds live this morning, when they were talking about this stuff, was let's not forget that the one thing that we haven't seen come to fruition, I guess, yet, if you will, is in Spider-Man Homecoming. Remember, they had Cap's new shield. Happy when they were getting ready, moving everything. They had Thor's, the mega. Remember Thor's new belt, or Thor's belt. They talked about Cap's new shield, and we've never seen this Cap's new shield. The only shield we've seen was when Steve Rogers dropped a shield at the end of Civil War, gave it back to Steve Rogers, or back to Tony Stark. Tony took it and did what with it, right? So then, but that also begs to the question of which shield was it that he gave Sam at the end of Avengers Endgame? Where did he get the shield? All just all these different kinds of things because we've seen that his shield was damaged right when they were battling Thanos. So a lot of things going on here with that shield and what all this could mean. What do you guys think is coming out of this whole? I mean, what do you think is coming out of the Falcon and Winter Soldier series? Me personally, like I said, I think it's going to be like a whole and. I don't think like in the series if they do like the whole Sam Wilson Captain America thing like it was in the comic books. I don't think they're going to use the whole race angle. I mean, obviously some of that might be some maybe some minor undertones of that, but I don't think Disney is trying to tackle those kinds of issues on the Disney Plus streaming service on what's supposed to be their family friendly service and all that stuff. I just don't think they're going to do it. They could. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think they're gonna want to bring race relations into it too much, too much of that stuff in there. And I could be wrong about that too. I don't know. Who knows? Let me know how you guys feel about that down in the comments below. But I kind of think that is what it's going to be like. Is kind of because there's some shots also in there as well. I mean, obviously we seen Sam throwing the shield. We see. Here's the funny thing about the trailers. We see the hands going up there to pull it out, which is I'm guessing I can't imagine who else it would be that's pulling the shield out. But it's not the same shot from the same moment when Sam throws the shield because when Sam throws the shield, he's wearing a different shirt than he was when you see him going up to the tree to pull it out. It was a different jacket. You could see like they had a T-shirt on with a jacket over it. So I don't know, just some weird stuff going on there. But of course we know that Marvel is pretty good at always kind of covering up their tracks inside of these and altering their trailers and things like that. Then also the next shots we seen after that was we seen Bucky there pointing the gun at Zemo. And then we see the shells falling, and we see you can see Winter Soldier's hand, and you see the shells falling. So it kind of makes me wonder what's going on there with some of that. I don't know, because that right there in itself could be possibly setting up the Thunderbolts, because it doesn't look like Bucky kills him. I mean, we see all the shells being dropped, and I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe that was him unloading, but it looks like the shells were. It looked like they were the full bullets. So I mean, it didn't look like they was just the empty shells. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What could this whole thing be with Zemo? And part of the thing that I've been talking about with a lot of my predictions, a lot of the things that's been happening here is this all possibly being part of Pleasant Hill. I mean, could it be? Could that be what's going on here in this Falcon and Winter Soldier series? Maybe they actually have some of these heroes and some of these villains all in this prison that would be Pleasant Hill. Who knows? Maybe they've captured them all at a time that that we're kind of unaware of. Who knows what could be happening? But maybe they've got some of these different people in Pleasant Hill, and then maybe they're under maybe they're all brainwashed and stuff like that, and maybe they are all different people within this reality. Maybe Bucky and Sam are both there in Pleasant Hill, locked up. And maybe they're being brainwashed. Their reality has been changed to where they think that they're actually out living life and stuff like that, but they're not. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? In the meantime, maybe John Walker is out there being introduced as the new Captain America. I don't know. It could be. And then maybe that's where through the course of the film, maybe Zemo kind of comes to understand, like, hey man, like, we're trapped in a prison here. This isn't real. Like, this is all fake. You know what I mean? But then also in this trailer too, when we see him pointing the gun at him and then all the shells dropping and all that stuff, we know I don't think he killed him, but it made me wonder too about the Winter Soldier's mental state here, because we seen in Civil War, Zemo actually went and put used all the code words and everything to kind of brainwash Bucky to get him on a mission and all that stuff. From the book and everything, right? So it makes me wonder what all he did. What all were the directives that he gave to Bucky Barnes, because maybe some of those things, even in Infinity War, I think, or at the end of Civil War, and then I think going into Infinity War, I mean, is Bucky so sure of himself? You know what I mean? Is Bucky so sure of himself? Did what they did to him in Wakanda, did that really flush all the stuff that Hydra did out of his mind? What about Zemo? You know what I mean? Maybe it's something like on RoboCop. Remember RoboCop? Remember he couldn't fire. He couldn't fire on the guy. Who was it? Was it Ronnie Cox's character? Was it Ronnie Cox's character? No, the other guy. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. And he couldn't fire him, and then he fired him. Yeah, it was Ronnie Cox's character, and then he couldn't fire on him. Maybe it's something like that, and maybe Winter Soldier can't fire on him because like that's his boss and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. There's so many possibilities here. There's just so many possibilities here. Like my mind's going crazy just thinking about this stuff already, and we haven't even touched WandaVision yet. But that's what I think some of the stuff could be going on here. Let's go ahead and get right here back into the chat. You guys are being very conversating a lot here. The Mulan live action looked good. I thought the trailers for that looked pretty good in the first place. I'm actually ready to see Mulan. I think I think it'll be a good movie. Hopefully, obviously, with the little dragon and stuff. I can't remember what his name was. Was it Mushu? Something like that in the Mulan cartoon. Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they don't do it, because that could be a little campy and a little odd. It could be a little weird. But hey, I mean, they pulled out the genie, right? Two Gun Pedro says at Campbell, Pennsylvania. Yes, that is the Two Gun Kid. You're the first one ever to notice. Oh, let's see here. Okay. Ooh, for the love of movie says I got the job. Nice, awesome, dude. All right, guys. In case you guys don't know, for the love of movies, this young man named Kobe from I believe he's in the UK. I could be wrong. He's a young man he does movie reviews and stuff like that. You should go check out his channel. But he was going out to get a job this last Saturday. He had an interview to get a job at his local theater, and it looks like he got it. Awesome, man. Good deal, Kobe. That's hell yeah, dude. That's great stuff, man. Glad to hear that. Will Gentry says, I watched the Mulan trailer earlier. If you totally ignore the fact that it's a remake and treat it as a brand new film, it looks like it could be kind of fun in a Crouching Tiger kind of way. Yeah, definitely. Orange Borges is here. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, the Mulan, I mean, that's Mulan is easily a good movie. Easily a good movie. Easily. They just gotta not be too campy or too, for me, the thing is try not to do exactly what the cartoon did. Make it. Obviously you got to pay homage to it because that's what it's supposed to be. But you got to still make it something different because it's live action, not a cartoon. Again, I haven't watched all of Aladdin yet, but my daughters, they love it. The kids, they love it. I think they like the movie more than they like the cartoon. I don't know, and I haven't watched it all yet, but it's like from what I've seen of it so far, it actually looks pretty good. And Will Smith in it, I mean, that's just the right call. You're gonna have somebody acting and singing at the same time. This is what Will Smith does, man. Like he's an actor. He's been acting for a long time, and he was a rapper, and he knows how to sing too. Like my daughter was all, she's all likes Will Smith and everything. So this weekend we busted out some Fresh Prince for DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Also broke out some Will Smith and even just some different stuff, you know what I mean? Because I like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Like their last album I remember of them together was Code Red. I'm not sure if you guys heard that one. I think it came out in like '93. It was actually a really great album, and I'm sure you know that Jazzy Jeff worked with him afterward when he started doing some of his solo stuff. But yeah, good stuff. Played Summertime for him. You guys remember the song Summertime? Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Man, this isn't the music show. Here we go again. But yeah, Mulan is easily a good movie. Mulan is easily a good movie. I don't remember any trailers other than Marvel. I'm not sure what other ones there was either. I didn't watch the game. They looked interesting for sure, says Two Brothers Comics. Mark Spector Comics says, I knew they would release something for Disney Plus because their first quarter reports come out this week. Yeah, that makes sense. Plus, during the Super Bowl is the time everybody's out there, they're all, the advertising dollars and all that stuff, expensive stuff. Chillmonger says, thank you so much for being here. Chillmonger says, the trailers were hot. Yes, they were, man. They were really good. I even like what'd you guys think of the Black Widow trailer? I even like that one. There's some things in there, some interesting things going on there for sure. Some interesting things going on there for sure that we'll probably talk about later as soon as I get them all broke down, and I'll have some videos and stuff. Maybe I'll just do videos of them, or we'll talk about them more here on the morning movie chat throughout the week, because there's certainly a lot of stuff to cover in these. Orange Board says they're going to do the story from the Vision comic run where Wanda is switched with Vision. All right, yeah, very very well could be, and I'm not sure what series that is. I'll have to go check that out. I've got I'm subscribed to that Marvel Unlimited thing, so maybe I'll go in there and check out that storyline. Interesting, because I honestly don't know enough about that stuff at all. So I'll definitely have to go check that out and do some reading and read up on it. Hopefully I get some time in between reading all these new books as well. But yeah, sounds cool. I'll look into that, Orange Boards. Hello, good sir. I'm really bummed out about the result last night, but otherwise good. How's yourself? Hope the orbs are in order. Yeah, again, I think they said Kansas City won. Yeah. Yeah, Captain Pennsylvania says Loki was wearing that TVA jumpsuit. Yeah, that was pretty interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff with that Loki thing, because that really only just some of the predictions I have for what could be going on there. That really only helps solidify him. Because one of the things I've been talking about is I think what we could possibly be getting here is Immortus. Immortus is the ruler of the mystic realm of Limbo. He is the master of time, and yeah. Plus, there's an Easter egg in Avengers Endgame that kind of really stood out to me. Something I did a video on a while back, and I'm gonna have to maybe I'll see if I can dig that video up, and also some of the other things relating to that. I was talking about that here about a month ago, on the morning movie chat as well. But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff there going on with that TVA jumpsuit. All is good, brother, says Ord's board. All right. Oh yeah, I remember. I do remember James Bond now. Must have missed Top Gun too. Yeah, I guess there was Top Gun and James Bond. The WandaVision trailer confused me. They made it look like a 50s sitcom. Yeah, and that's kind of what they're going into. Ord's board says ties into Endgame. Mark Spector says Top Gun Maverick was the first commercial. Maverick Pilgrim says, feels like Marvel Phase 4 is a big experiment with streaming and films being interwoven. Could make for a really crazy decade of nerddom. Absolutely. And that's something I was talking about a while back here on the show as well as even like Young Ripper 59. He was talking about as well as the fact that Marvel Studios has the streaming service, just like they do with Star Wars and all their other stuff too, but they've got this interconnected world here. Is Marvel now has the streaming service and the movies, and this is groundbreaking. Like they've got an edge that, like, sure, a lot of other people have access to these kinds of things, but they've got it all interwoven now. They can, so basically what can happen is they can introduce characters, give us more of those origin stories and everything in these TV shows before they cross over these characters into the movies. Because then you don't have to give them a full movie setup. You can just bring them right into a bigger universe movie. And then, maybe they do get their own movie as well later. Because Moon Knight, we see was going to be a TV show. But come on. I think we all feel like that would be a great movie. Am I wrong? But also it could be just some of those origins before we get a bigger movie about him that will probably have a little bit more tying into that as well. So I think that's definitely something groundbreaking that they have to do. I mean, it's a game changer for sure, because they can do that. Set up your characters here and then into that. Like I'm saying with the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, the one thing I will say is, like, I don't know that he's going to become Captain America in this TV series. I think it's the build up to that, because it's called Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's the whole struggle, him becoming Captain America. I think at the end of the series he becomes Captain America, and I think in the next movie we see him in will be as Captain America. Now, how long will that last? I have a feeling it will last maybe through that film into the next Captain America film, which will be when Steve Rogers comes back, and then we end up getting maybe the next Captain America movie is Secret Empire. Because for a while I've been saying here that the next Captain Marvel movie will be Captain Marvel Civil War 2, but according for what I want to do with my Saving Captain Marvel video, it kind of scraps that whole idea. But either way, guys, okay? Maybe I'll see if I can integrate it all. But the thing is if it's Captain Marvel Civil War 2, then the next Captain America movie could be Secret Empire. You know, and then the next Avengers movie can be the Secret Invasion, or Secret Wars, or any of the other secrets. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just telling you because everything, man. I'm telling you, man. My brain goes a million miles an hour thinking about this stuff. But where were we at? Yeah, they are in a different world, different dimension. Feels like Marvel Phase 4 is a big experiment. Yeah, and that's the thing is they're going to be crossing over all of those things, and then yeah, it's great because it opens up so many more doors, because essentially each one of these seasons is going to be like a movie. I think they're going to be very different from what The Mandalorian was. Um, that's just how I feel about it. But I think there's going to be some significant things going on here. And like I said, I think Sam Wilson will be Captain America at the end of that film. We'll possibly cross over into another film as Sam Wilson Captain America. And then maybe the next Captain America film brings back Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, Secret Empire, which then leads into something else, which there's reasons I have for what I think all this could come to be. One of the reasons I think Secret Empire, Captain Marvel Civil War 2, then into Captain America Secret Empire, or maybe it's the next Avengers movie, but I doubt it, would be because what Secret Empire did in the comics, just the same as it could do in the MCU, is it kind of reset all of the characters. Well, for one, a lot of them came back to their classic forms because there was a lot of things just going on in comics at the time. But what that could do is it could reset a lot of events to where you could bring in somebody new as Steve Rogers. Because in Secret Empire, you find out that Steve Rogers wasn't Steve Rogers at some point. It was like a clone of him. So then you could actually set that up to where somebody else, where like it was never him in the first place. Maybe it was somebody else, and there's a whole lot you could do there. There's a whole lot you could do there with resetting stuff up, because it kind of resets time. Now, is that something good for all of us? Do we all want to see Robert Downey Jr. replaced, Chris Evans replaced, and stuff like that? No. But just because they reset time doesn't mean that these guys can't still ever come back for cameos as well, because it's still out there in the multiverse, right? Anyway. Thunderbolts will get teased in Black Widow. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to happen for sure. There's definitely some things in that Black Widow trailer that I want to point out as well. There was a scenes where we see Yelena, Natasha, man, why all of a sudden did I forget? But Red Guardian and even the other older Rachel Weisz's character in the movie. All of a sudden, I went blank here. But they're sitting there at that crash site where, remember, in the trailer we see, you see Black Widow kind of standing up after everything's kind of crashed, and she's standing up looking around. We see all of the family there together. We see that Alexei, isn't that his name? Alexei Shostakov. Yeah, Red Guardian is sitting there all with his arm around. Man, why? Like all of a sudden I forget her name. Melina. With his arm wrapped around her, because they're the older ones here, and I've kind of theorized that these maybe they're all clones, maybe they're all some sort of clones in this, like as far as the Black Widows of one another. Who knows? But the thing is we see them all kind of cuddled up, and we see that in one shot. Yelena Below's character has on the black vest, and then on a shot that looks like it's like right around the same time, she doesn't have it on. And she looks like she's kind of been in a fight and stuff like that. She looks a little more beat up, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. But there's some very crazy stuff going on there. But some other cool things going on in that as well. But yeah, I'm sure Thunderbolts will be teased in Black Widow. Tom's Comic Book and Reviews, thank you so much for being here. Will Gentry says, that wouldn't surprise me after all. Vision died in Infinity War. Yeah, I have some theories about that as well. I mean, yeah, he did die, but other stuff with that. I jumped into the game about 2 seconds before the actual kickoff. I didn't watch the game. New teams about to pop up. If I don't get a call, I'm gonna be pissed. Lots of new teams about to pop up. Oh yeah, definitely Captain Pennsylvania. Perry Comics says, "Hola, hola, how you doing?" That would be awesome. I love the Thunderbolts. Absolutely. I really want to see Bucky make a trip to Oakland to hang out with the Wakandans. out there. Maybe get maybe get geared up by Shuri. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, you know, that like I don't hear anybody really mention that before either, about the location that they bought in Oakland. Remember, they bought a thing and set up shop. And remember, for a while everybody was talking about, oh, Stark Tower, like who bought Stark Tower and this and that, because somebody bought Stark Tower. They're thinking that, you know, it's Norman Osborn. They're thinking that it's the Fantastic Four. It's going to be the Baxter Building. But I was sitting there thinking the same thing, Maverick. I was sitting there thinking about, how do we know it wasn't the Wakandans and they just bought up some New York property? You know what I mean? Maybe the Wakandans bought it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad to see somebody else is still thinking about that too. I'm gonna mute any Not My Captain videos. Well, I might do some, Chillmonger. I might do some of those Not My Captain videos, but just not. Well, I mean, you know, man, you know me, dude. Like, it won't be like that. This would be Chris Evans if he still wanted to play it. I should be the new Captain America, says Captain Pennsylvania. Yes, he should be, dude. This would be Chris Evans if he still wanted to play it. It's kind of a stretch. The public would be upset at one of those heroes that saved the universe. Yeah, I think so too. Remember in Iron Man 2, Tony had an unfinished shield he used to prop up the particle collider in his lab. Yeah, maybe he made another one. Well, see, my thing is maybe that's the one. Maybe that is Cap's new shield. Maybe it's something that they've had sitting around for a while. Because remember, in Iron Man 2, Cap would have still been frozen. Cap would have still been frozen at that point in time. He was, as far as we know from the timeline, he would have still been in ice along with his shield. Where did they find the shield? They didn't find the shield. He had the shield, didn't he? I'm pretty sure. I can't remember because now that I started thinking about that, and I was like, man, did they cover that in Captain America: The First Avenger at the very end? Didn't they find something? Didn't they? Maybe they did. They found his shield, and then they kept looking for Cap. I could be wrong there. Dang it! I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now. But yeah, I do remember that one. Not My Captain is in Southern accent. Not my captain. not my captain. not my captain. In Southern accent, dude. He fought alien dog monsters to save half of everyone. Chill. Oh man, it just jumped on me. Where did it jump on me to? I missed the game too. I had to work. Aggressively relaxing says James Bond 25. Daniel Craig is so good in the role. Yeah, Daniel Craig is good as James Bond. Well, England lost the rugby from what I saw. Didn't watch it. Didn't watch that neither. Black Widow looks very good. I think Black Widow looks great. I can't wait to see that. Great game is surprising for sure. WandaVision is going to set up mutants in the MCU. I think so. I think WandaVision is easily going to set it up. But who knows? We could get a tease before that. I don't know what was in Owen's head, but it wasn't rugby. Shame. I must have missed something there. Check out K2 Demons Exercised in Pittsburgh on YouTube. Haven't seen it. Buddy said it's hilarious. K2 Demons. Okay, I have to check that out. The CJH, thank you for being here, says, I think the X-Men were always there in the MCU. They just were undercover, kind of like how the Sorcerers were always there in the background. It could be. I think that's a lazy way of doing it. Totally lazy way for them to do it. But it's possible. I don't like that, though. I don't like that. No, it's too much story to make Moon Knight just a movie. Yeah, indeed. I agree. Maverick Pilgrim says, how long till we get an MCU connected animated series on Disney Plus? What If doesn't count, not canon. I was gonna say, I think I read actually somewhere that they were saying that the What If series is somehow going to be tied into the MCU just by the mere fact that it's like some of the way it was posed. I can't remember. I heard about it somewhere. Going to be because of something that happens in one of these TV series or something anyway. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I hear what you're saying. It doesn't really count. Because it's What If. But how long till we get a connected animated series? I don't know. I mean, probably, who knows? Probably in Phase 5. Could be in Phase 5 by when we get that. In the very next phase. I doubt ever. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. with Feige. If they use Hickman's version, they're definitely in the world hidden. Yeah, definitely. These movies will only go for so long. We're all getting old. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna go for so long, and then they will probably end up rebooting the universe totally. But again, that's why I think that Secret Empire would be a great way for them to do that, because it's not even that they have to reboot. They could still bring back all these other characters, just basically due to the multiverse and time travel and all that stuff. They could always do that if they wanted to for a movie or something like that, or anything like that. But it allows them to kind of reboot some of the characters and bring in new people for those characters. With all the Marvel TV shows coming out, it really feels like they're trying to recreate Marvel Comics in live action. Could be good, but my fear is it's all good. It'll all just get convoluted and confusing. I think they've done a good job so far. We have really no reason to doubt what Kevin Feige has done so far in the MCU. But I certainly understand having reservations about it. I get it. Definitely. Dang it, jumped on me again. Um, they're all clones of Palpatine. Big reveal. Kids will love it. Oh, I must have missed something again there. Um, Will Gentry says Captain Pennsylvania. They have to be very careful and really plan in advance, but it could work. Yeah, I think so. I hope Vision, Quicksilver, and the twins transition to this reality, says Maverick Pilgrim. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. The CJH says if they do Storm like they do in the animated series, where her costume just forms on her like Black Panther's costume, I think she will have a Wakandian costume. Yeah, I believe so. That's very possible. Very possible. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to doubt that at all. The CJH. One thing I know I'm certainly hoping for, they better get Storm and do Storm right. They better do Storm right when they bring her into the MCU. They better do the mutants right. You know what I'm saying? They better do it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they better do these characters some justice. And like I just said a minute ago, in Feige we trust. I trust in this Marvel Studios and the MCU to do all of this stuff. Now, am I a little bit leery when it comes to some things? Yeah, I am. But until they've actually proved that they've done something stupid and wrong, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Now I know there's plenty of people out there going, "Oh, look at Captain Marvel." Like, guys, like, I get it. There's plenty of reasons that Captain Marvel isn't the best film. It's not a great film or anything like that. I like Captain Marvel. I think it's okay. It's an okay movie. But after just all the things that I know now that I didn't know then, it has a lot to be fulfilled, and there's a lot that it could do, and that's why I've got my video that I want to work on and get done for you guys, called Saving Captain Marvel. I was just talking about it last week on Friday, because I believe there is stuff they could do to salvage the character and some of the things they've done with the roots of that character being Marvel. And I believe it's all possible within the scope to get things done for the other things that I have to predict with the MCU and stuff like that as well. So yeah. But I trusted Marvel Studios so far. They haven't gone crazy on us yet. Now, we're not talking about the actors that are in these roles. We're talking about the movies themselves. Let's see. Will Gentry says we saw his shield in Iron Man 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, saw it there in Iron Man 2. What if Osborn created the Goblin Guider as competition against Stark Industry? Oh yeah, easily could be. Easily could be. He could be one of those ones that we learned about that we didn't see the test footage of in Iron Man 2. Remember in Iron Man 2 when Stark got on his little phone and he put all the screens up when he was there before the Senate? Wasn't it the Senate? And he put all those different clips up that they were having with Hammer Industries, where they were testing all those different things. For all we know, maybe Norman Osborn was there doing exactly that. Has the Goblin glider and all that stuff at that point. I mean, you could very well be right. And they could easily do that. I mean, they could easily have that in there, and you don't even have to retcon anything. Like, because we seen footage there, but most of that was all related to Hammer as well. Yeah, he used it to prop up the particle accelerator he made to create that new element for his chess piece. Okay. I just want you guys to. Will Gentry, yes, you're right. He did use it to prop up the particle accelerator that he made to create the new element. He didn't. He only recreated that new element. He only recreated it because it was created by Dr. Arnim Zola back in 1942 in Captain America: The First Avenger. That was Arnim Zola did it before. I'm telling you, Arnim. Here we go. Here we go again. Somebody get ready to take a screenshot here and make sure that you post this to Twitter again, because I think Ken did that last time on with the Den of Nerds. Is Dr. Arnim Zola is the godfather of the MCU. It's not Kevin Feige. It's Dr. Arnim Zola. If it wasn't for Dr. Arnim Zola, we wouldn't have the MCU as it is today. Hail Hydra. But yeah, Tony Stark only recreated that new element because Dr. Arnim Zola actually created it back in 1942 there with Red Skull. Remember him and Johann Schmidt were there experimenting. They had the Tesseract and they souped up the machine and Red Skull was like, I'm not here for safety. And he went up there and he turned up all the knobs and they created the new element. And Arnim Zola, he got done. He goes, man, he's like, this will change. What do you say? This will change the world. And Red Skull said like this will change the universe or something like that. Because they created that new element, and that new element is what they had in all their weapons. Because he said it could power all their inventions for the next 50 years, 100 years, or whatever. He said that this what he created could do that. And they started using it in all their weapons. And then later, Steve Rogers comes in. You know, when he was there at the Hydra base where he found Bucky at, he picked up the little clip or whatnot of that stuff, and he took it and pocketed it, and he took it back to. He took it back to Stark. He took it back to Howard Stark, and Howard Stark started experimenting with it. Remember, and then later we see that he had it in a little thing, and then he was messing with it, and it exploded. And he was like, write that down. See, it was actually Arnim Zola who did all that, and then later, you know, like I said, hashtag the Stark Sham, riding all on the coattails of Dr. Arnim Zola. Howard Stark, you know, in that video clip from Iron Man 2, said that he couldn't recreate it with the technology in his time, but that he believes that his son Tony Stark could. Well, Tony Stark did, but he really only recreated what Dr. Zola did. See, we went off on a rant here. You guys will get me every time with that kind of stuff, man. Hashtag the Stark Sham. Look it up here on YouTube. Hashtag the Stark Sham. Tell you all about it. But yes, I think it would be good for comic book fans, but they could run into problems with the normies who only watch the films and not the TV shows. That could be true. When are Goblin gliders and fantastic cars coming to market? I don't know, Aggressively. We need to see the video. Make it. Hey, by the way, Aggressively, I see you made it through the weekend. Apparently you're not dead yet. That's an inside joke from last Friday, guys. The CJ says the Spider-Man animated series, maybe. Maybe so. Aggressively says Marvel is a multiverse. It's all canon. Very good point. The comic books G-Spot Galvin, how are you doing this morning? My brother says good morning, my brother. Nice to see you. Early. Yes, it's a little early. I'm True Skill says I think they need an X-Force animated series on Disney Plus. Oh hell yeah they do. Shoot. True Skills good has good ideas, definitely. Will Gentry, I think so too. But I'm pumped about it. I can't wait. I can't help the norms. Yeah. The CJH says, do you think Beast will appear in WandaVision since Sword is appearing in it? He could. And is Sword actually appearing in WandaVision? Or is it just, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, because it could still be S.H.I.E.L.D. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Will Beast appear in there? I don't know. Will a mutant appear in there? I think definitely so, because, I mean, so far as we all know, Wanda is a mutant in the first place. Stevie B Comics says, what's up, gang? Thank you so much for being here, Stevie B. Secret Wars, Internals, and yes, Nolan Rad. But yes, I agree with you, says Comic G-Spot Galvin. The CJ says, when do you think Osborn will appear, and how would you like them to do Osborn in the MCU? I honestly don't think Osborn's going to appear in the MCU. I mean, unless Sony and Marvel work out some sort of deal, he's not even going to be in the MCU. Maybe he comes into the Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man movie, which is technically in the MCU, but that is still technically owned by Sony. So it could happen in the next movie, but I honestly don't know that it's really going to. I honestly don't think that it's going to cross over into the MCU very much, because if you go back and you watch every single one of these, like the 2 Spider-Man films we got so far, they don't really tie into the MCU that much. There's not much crossover. There's some, but it's mostly by way of Tony Stark. That's really about it. He don't really tie into the MCU in any other way. I mean, sure, we got Tony Stark, but Tony Stark relates to Happy. Happy's in there as well. Happy relates also to Nick Fury. Nick Fury relates to that too as well. But it's really only loosely connected. Even with the 2 movies we got so far, it's there, but it's not really there. So if anything, that's going to happen in the next Spider-Man movie, but I don't think Osborn's going to cross over very much, especially not if Sony and Marvel Studios don't come to another agreement and deal in the first place. So so when will Osborn appear? If he's going to appear at all in the MCU, it's going to be in this next Spider-Man film. And how would you like to and I would love for them to do Osborn. But again, it's very loosely connected to the MCU, if you ask me. Very loosely. I just want a Dark Violet animated series, says Iron True Skills. I don't think I've ever seen Dark Violet. At Captain Pennsylvania, well, I am a normie. Never read a comic book in my life. That's why I'm pumped about it. I'm not pumped about it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I've been reading a lot of the current, like some of the more current comics. So I'm pumped up for a lot of these things coming up. And there's certainly, I still got to do my homework on a lot of these things as well. Will Gentry said, well, I hope that this changes your mind. Great stories in the comics, man. So many more characters. Yeah, there are some great stories in the comic books. And that's like all these people upset about like Thor Love and Thunder. Everyone's saying it's going woke. Jane Foster Thor and la la la. The thing is I've already talked about this before. I don't think it's going to go there. I mean, I think we're going to see Jane Foster Thor in here, but I don't think it's going to go much farther than that. I think Jane Foster may actually die. She may actually die in that Thor Love and Thunder. Just because things that happen, and like I just don't see Natalie Portman wanting to come back and make a whole lot of these movies. Comic book G Spot Galvin says, that's right, brother. Yes, very cool. I love it. Definitely. I think Marvel Disney Plus shows will make the Arrowverse like elementary school play. Oh, indeed, Maverick, indeed. I'm True Skill says, he said this will change the war. Red Skull said this will change the world. Okay, yeah. I knew it was somewhere close like that. Yeah. This will change the world. This will change the world. Yes. Franjecture says, careful, that soapbox gonna break. You stand on it too many times. Oh, I'm telling you, Franjecture. I'm telling you, dude. Like, it's all Dr. Arnim Zola, man. It's all Arnim Zola. The whole MCU has Arnim Zola to thank for it. Okay, and Dr. Erskine. Dr. Erskine and Arnim Zola. Dr. Erskine and Arnim Zola, if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't have the MCU, okay? We're going that far. Well, I guess we could we say Thanos, and could we say Odin and Thor, and yeah, oh, dang it. You got me there. Are we going to have to say the Eternals too? We'll see. But for the most part, as far as the Earth MCU, the Earth heroes, it's all thanks to Dr. Erskine and Arnim Zola. But more so, Arnim Zola. Arnim Zola is the one who inspired the Starks the most, and they're the one who seems to be on the cutting edge of all that technology. Fanjexter, that's funny though. Oh, Fanjexter. Oh, and guys, make sure you go subscribe to Fanjexter's channel. This week on Wednesday, my good friend Ryan from Nerdy Blurb TV is going to be on Fanjexter's channel doing the same thing that we were doing last week. And I'm telling you, Fanjexter, maybe we just need to redo that show with the audio fixed and everything and all that kinds of stuff. Maybe we need to redo that one. Maybe in a year or so, or 6 months or so. We'll maybe after more people have seen Jay and Silent Bob reboot or something. Maybe we need to revisit that one. But Quentin Tarantino sounds like another good one as well. Maybe we could do the Wachowskis. Maybe we could also do the Coen brothers. Maybe we could also... Man, I could go on and on. CJH says, do you think Daredevil and Abomination will appear in She-Hulk? Possibly Daredevil. Abomination, very possibly as well. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. But possibilities, yes, the possibilities are pretty high. I mean, I guess they're mid-range of the possibilities. The Good Doctor was also standing on the shoulders of a couple billion beings in space from more advanced civilizations. Hashtag Zola Sham. What? Whoa! What? What? It's the Stark Sham. Hashtag the Stark Sham. I'm looking forward to the WandaVision big time. Yeah, man, it looks great. It looks great. Plus, I like what's her name, Elizabeth Olsen playing Wanda. She's just great in that role. And plus, like I love Paul Bettany, man. I've liked Paul Bettany for a really long time. He's a good actor. You ever see that movie? What was that? You know the one? Yeah, with him and Russell Crowe. A Beautiful Mind. Great movie. The Prodigal Son Returns. Man, that's a great one. Will Gentry says, honestly, I don't think it will. I've had my fill of Marvel superheroes over the last decade. I'm more interested in seeing a good Superman or Batman film right now. I'm right there with you, Will Gentry. I want that. Like Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. That to me is a good movie. And I really wish we would have got I wish we would have got Batfleck. More Batfleck. I like Batfleck. According to Christy, thank you so much for being here. Says, good morning, you beautiful nerds. Maverick Pilgrim says, something I noticed in Iron Man 2. Hammer tells Ivan that he needs a benefactor, and he could be that. In Ant-Man 2, the benefactor is trying to buy Pimtech. Hammer could easily fill that Osborn spot. Oh, I agree 100% there. Yeah. And that's the thing, Maverick Pilgrim, is Avi, you must like Iron Man 2 as much as I do or something, because actually like all the Iron Man films. And don't get me wrong with the whole Stark Sham thing. I like the Iron Man films. I like Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and this and that. But still, hashtag the Stark Sham. The Starks are a bunch of shamsters. Anyway, they would be nothing without Dr. Arnim Zola. But anyway, yeah, I like Iron Man 2 because there's a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of things that happen in that movie that relate to just a lot of things, man. There's a whole lot of stuff. Yes, agreed. I think I understand. Will Gentry, I think I understand. I'm a DC fan as well, so I look forward to good superhero flicks in general. Me too. I'm right there with you. Like, I'm telling you, that Wonder Woman trailer, every time I see it, I get more hyped. The same stupid trailer. I get more hyped every time I see it. Maverick, I heard he could come back. Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely. Then no issue with Sony, says Maverick Pilgrim. The CJH says the first Iron Man movie. In the first Iron Man movie, the jet that the X jet is based off, appears. I'm hoping they retcon that to be the X jet. The jet. In which part? I'm trying to think of which part in the movie that is. But I don't doubt that because I think I remember thinking the same thing. The CJH. I'll have to go back and watch that though. Got to head to work. All right, take it easy, Cap. Comic G Spot the comic book G Spot Galvin says yes, very good. Maverick Pilgrim says, haha, I just watched Iron Man 2 this past weekend. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. I like it. Oh, Maverick Pilgrim, do you know what? Do any of you guys know? Do you guys know what did Tony Stark try to have? That new element that he recreated, the element that he recreated, do you guys know what he tried to have that patented as? Do you? Do you know what the name of it was? I want a Superman movie that doesn't have Zod or Luthor. I want Metallo or other baddies. I also want a Martian Manhunter movie. I want a Hawkman movie. Give me some Hawkman. That's what I want. I want a damn Hawkman movie. But yeah, I want and Henry Cavill coming back as Superman would be great too. I like Henry Cavill as Superman. He's great. Will Gentry says Captain Pennsylvania. Well, I'm a normie, not a comic book fan, so that kind of stuff has limited appeal to me. Just like adventure films and superhero flicks, just happen to fall into that category. Yeah. It's a scene where he flies up and tries to beat the record. Oh man, are you talking about when he flying up into space and he starts to frost over? Is that what you're talking about, or the speed record? Oh, you might be talking about the speed record too. The first time, and that's when he talks to Rhodey on the phone and everything. I think that's what you're talking about. I want a Superman movie with the stakes that are normalized, nuanced, and realistic instead of the world and reality always being at stake. Where do you go from there? Right. Oh yeah, I hear you, Maverick. Something a little more down to earth. I guess he tried to patent it as Starkium or Tonium. No, maybe nope, nope. And when you hear the name, it's pretty like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it figures. I'm looking forward to what happens next in the Halle Berry Catwoman universe. Joker really turned that franchise around. The CJH Jarvis shows him it on his helmet screen. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, all right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, on the little HUD screen. Okay. I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to check into that. But I do remember what you're talking about because I remember seeing the jet in there at some point and thinking like man, that's a little odd. But yeah, interesting, very interesting indeed. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now that what Stark tried to have that element that he recreated. He didn't create it. He recreated it. Dr. Arnim created it. Hashtag the Stark Sham. What he tried to have it patented as was badassium. He tried to have it patented as badassium. You can find that in one of the, I believe it was the Iron Man, one of the Iron Man Prelude. It was one of the Prelude comics that had come out. I don't know if it was Iron Man Prelude or Iron Man 2 Prelude comic book, but it was in one of those. Nick Fury was talking about that. He tried to have it patented as badassium. And I believe it's in a scene where he's actually talking to Dr. Eric Selvig. So, yeah, just a little bit of trivia for you. You can find that in one of those comics. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all of that good stuff. If you like music, go back and check out the Power Hour or the Hour of Music, the Power Hour of Music, whatever we want to call it. We're going to call it something. We're going to think of a better name for it. Go check that out from yesterday. On Saturday, I was with Dylan's Comic Book Rants and Chris from Chaos and Comics. We were talking about comic books on the Saturday Comics and Mayhem, Comic Mayhem, I don't know, something on the Saturday show. Go check that out. It was very fun. Make sure you go check out my Twitter follow on at the Second Street Marvel. I did put up a poll question there. I didn't pin it. Maybe I better go pin it for you guys to answer. What is your favorite decade of music and what decade were you born in? Make sure you go and check that out. And we'll talk more about that on next Sunday's show. And we will also make sure you put in your homework too, because my friend Rich suggested an album that you should definitely go out there and check out. That is Kirk Windstein's new solo album called, oh man, what was it called? Dream in Motion. Dream in Motion by Kirk Windstein. You should go check that out. Go, see if you can stream it, BitTorrent, whatever you got to do. I don't know what you kids call it these days. Go listen to it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that this Sunday, as well as what is the best, our favorite decade of music. But that's all I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. But most of all, make sure that you share it with a friend who will come here and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down and like it or dislike it. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to look too much into that. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you all in the next video. Later.